Hi guys, I'm back with another video, and in this video I'm going to show you this awesome tutorial on how I made my Seasons 2 Shopkins Wall Display. I've seen other tutorials of the standing displays, but I didn't have enough room to make one of those, so I came up with my own, and this one, it can stand, but it can also go on the wall to display all your Shopkins. So if you'd like a tutorial to see how I made this awesome display, please stay tuned. First things first, I'll show you all the materials that you're going to need. So first you'll need foam board, and I just cut this down so that I can show you a better glimpse of it on camera. And it comes in big sheets, and I got 2 sheets of the foam board. You'll also need a ruler for measuring, scissors for cutting, a utility knife to cut your foam board, and make sure you have the assistance of your parents for this one because it's very sharp. Regular white glue or a glue stick if you have that. A glue gun along with at least 10 glue sticks. 2-sided tape. This is so that our Shopkins don't fall off. A pencil. Gotta make sure we have a pencil. And 3 shopping checklists. These are what we're gonna cut up to make the background pictures for our display. So that's everything that you're gonna need to make this Shopkins wall display. So let's get started on building it. So first you're gonna need your first piece of foam board, and this is gonna be the backing of our display. This is where all of our rows are going to sit. So each row is going to be 2 inches long from the top to 2 inches, and 2 inches is right there on the ruler. So from here to there. So, and you find 2 inches and you measure it out. So that's 2 inches, and you make a little line at the end of your ruler so you know where 2 inches is. So then you take your ruler and you follow that line, and you lightly go all the way across to the other side. So that's 1 row right there. So we're going to need 10 rows altogether. So from this line, from this starting line, we're going to measure another 2 inches. So you put the 2 inches right there again, right? 2 inches, and you make another line right underneath that one. Then you take your ruler again and you go all the way across. So you continue to do that until you have 10 equal rows going all the way down. So I'm going to make my remaining rows, and then I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, so I made all 10 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now we're ready for the next step. So the next step is, this is where these little Shopkin checklists come in handy, is we're gonna cut out each section and then glue them on. But some sections have 18 and some have 16. So I like to use the bigger sections first. So homewares has 18, bakery has 18, cleaning and laundry has 18, and pantry has 18. So we'll start off with homewares. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our scissors, and we're gonna cut along this line right here, and we're gonna cut along the bottom line right under Toasty Pop, and we're gonna cut along that line. So I'll show you. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut them very carefully, one by one. We're gonna cut each character out. So what I like to do is I like to turn it upside down because I try to get as much of the little circles that say if they're common or rare. I like to get that along with the little character. So I cut as close to the next one as possible. So we're gonna cut right beside Brenda Blender, like that. And cut Toasty Pop. So there we have our Toasty Pop. So I'm gonna cut out the remaining ones and you guys could watch as I do that. So once you have them all cut, out, you're going to arrange them at the top of your first line, and I'll show you. So these are the first 4 that I just cut out, and they aren't glued on yet, and you can see they're at the very top of the board. And this is where we're going to glue them on. So I'm going to cut out the remaining for this section and then I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, so once you have all 18 of your little figures cut out, it should look something like this. And all you have to do is just space them out evenly across the row. And then the next step is just to glue them down. So I'm going to cut out the next 18 for my next row just to show you what it looks like. So now this is what the second row looks like. And the good thing with the second row is that you could just follow right underneath the first row and just line them up and then glue them. So they should all be spaced out very evenly. So next step is you do the remaining 18 rows and then you get on to the 16th. And the 16th row is exactly the same. All you do is just, you're gonna space it out just a little bit more just because there's 2 less, and that's it. So continue to cut out all your little characters. So I'll see you when we're ready for the next step. Okay, so once you're done, this is what you're gonna end up with. All of your Shopkins categories will be placed on your board and evenly spaced out. So that's all of our Shopkins categories, including our special edition at the bottom. And just because there's only 6 of them, we space those ones out just a little further apart. So now our next step is to build each shelf so that the Shopkins could sit on top and in front of their picture. So I'm going to show you how to do that next. So just like we did earlier, we're going to measure out 2 inches again because that's how big our shelving is going to be. So like we did before, you find 2 inches on your ruler and then you mark it off with your pencil, and then you take that line all the way across. We are going to need 13 of these pieces of foam board to make our shelves. So once you go all the way across, this is when you're gonna need your utility knife. So make sure you get an adult to help you. Then along each line, you're gonna cut all the way across until you get 13 pieces. So I'm gonna go and do that and I'll be right back. Now that we have all 13 of our foam board pieces cut out, now we get to glue on each row. And these are our shelves. So under those first lines that we drew at the beginning, and I'll show you. Sorry if this is not a very clear video, but I hope it's helpful. So the first line right here that we drew, that's where our first board is gonna go, and then so on and so on. So I'll glue one, and this is where our good old glue gun is gonna come in handy. So all you do is put a strip of hot glue all across the board, So you take it and you stick it on just like that. And then, as you can see, you have your first row. And I'll show you one more and then I'll do the remaining off camera. So again, you just take your glue gun and you put glue all the way down. And then you just stick it right on the second line that we made, right above the pictures. And just stick it down. And as you can see, we have 2 rows. And there we have our first 2 rows. So I'm going to continue on and then I will be back to show you what we do next. So this is what it looks like once you've done all of your gluing and put all your rows on, but we still have 4 more pieces left. And I'd like to put one at the top, the very top, one at the very bottom, and one on each side. I like to put them at the top and the bottom just so that I could have storage for my baskets and my bags. You can leave it just like this if you'd like, or you could just put it on the top and the bottom if you like and leave the sides open. It's all up to you, but that's how I like it. So I'm going to do the top and the bottom, and you do it exactly the same way, just like how you put the rows on. You just use your glue gun and glue them. So I'll be right back once I've done that. And there we go, the finished product. So all you have to do is put all your Shopkins in, and when you're putting your Shopkins on your display, put a little piece of this double-sided tape on the board of where you're going to put your Shopkin. Like for instance, Dishy Liquid. So you put a little piece of the double-sided tape right there, and then you put Dishy Liquid right on top, and see that? She won't move. And you can take it off and put it back on whenever you want. So it's a pretty light display, so you can move it around without your Shopkins falling off. So remember I mentioned about putting the shelving on the bottom? When you have the shelving on the bottom, you have a nice place to put your baskets and your bags on the bottom as well as the top. So this is an awesome display that could be made for Shopkins season 1, 2, or 3. I did it for season 2, but you can do it for whatever Shopkins that you want, whatever Shopkins season. And I also forgot to mention that I cut out the categories from each section and I just glued them to the beginning of each section. So this is bakery, pantry, homewares, cleaning and laundry, fruit and veg, shoes, sweet treats, baby, and our limited edition. You could also jazz up your display if you want to by painting it, using construction paper, or using decorative tape, whatever you want. And with this display, you could have it standing like it is now, or you can actually put it into the wall like I'm going to do. All you have to do is put a nail in that side and hang it. Just ask your parents for permission first. So I hope this was helpful. I know it wasn't the best tutorial, but I hope it helps somebody. So let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!